Well, hello peeps. So for today I wanted to get you some solo RPG games for you, but unfortunately even after breaking my personal 50-minute wait rule, I was not able to get a queue for solo RPGs in over 1 hour. Obviously queues are still a huge issue, so instead we're gonna be going over changes coming to Demon Hunter on 11.1 and now that they have actually landed on the PTR, so we can actually take a deeper look into them and how it's gonna actually function. Some stuff is still bugged, I'm gonna give you a disclaimer right away, so some stuff we cannot really still predict how exactly it's going to work. Now the real point of this video is for me to wish you happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, all those things. I really hope you have the best year of your life now in 2025. But unfortunately I just couldn't get to the thing that I wanted for you. I wanted to get some solo RPG gameplay. I'm just not waiting queues longer than 15 minutes usually, and this time around I actually sat down to wait some longer queues, and yeah, queues are just not popping in after 1 hour for me. Now I wasn't playing at like maybe the prime time, but I feel like that's not really relevant. I was still playing over the day. I was not playing at freaking 3 a.m. 4 a.m. Alright, so the queues should not be ever this bad over the day, but I feel like that's a topic also for another time. But not to digress right now too much, we'll talk about some of those World of Warcraft problems a little bit later. Right now, let's focus on the changes that are coming to our Demon Hunter, to our favorite class here on the channel. And yeah, some of them are good, some of them are bugged, and we can't really test them right now, specifically Cycle of Hatred. I'm still kind of confused how this is supposed to really function, right? Because I'm not sure how you're supposed to get like all the 4 stacks, right? This also seems to be like a permanent buff on you that doesn't really drop off. That's what's kind of bugged right now mainly on it. Like if I start casting out my I-beams, you're gonna see, right? If I start casting out the I-beams, they just reduce the cooldown too much. I feel like yep, every cast of an ability is reducing the cooldown like way too much. I don't know if this was like what they were going for. I'm pretty sure it's not, because you can just, yeah, like one spell cast I-beam, one spell cast I-beam. This does not seem right to me. Let's just say it like that. So this is definitely still bugged and we can't really test it fully, and I still don't like quite understand how they are planning for this to work, since it seems to be like a permanent buff on you. So you're just getting a complete like 20 seconds a reduction, but why is it even like stacking then? Like, does this actually reset out of combat? Is there like a timer on it? Like, yeah, we don't. I feel like there's still some stuff they need to work on this talent. The other stuff that we got some changes are in this kind of initiative tree here. Tactical retreat and initiative I think are completely the same, but energy now works off the hunt and vengeful retreat, increasing the damage you do by 5% for 20 seconds. So a very long buff, but you're not going to be able to have it basically 100% of the time. Like, you're going to have a little bit of a downtime sometimes on it, and it kind of also forces you to, I feel like, forces you too much to use Eventual Retreat as just like an aggressive option. Not sure if we're going to enjoy this in PvP too much, simply because I feel like this is the only thing that we have as like a defensive move that's kind of like unstoppable, right? We can pre-blur stuff, we can pre-defensive stuff, or we can just glimpse something, right? So I feel like that's too much focus on Vengeful Retreat. Inertia also works the same now. The Hunt and Vengeful Retreat cause your next Fell Rush or Fell Blades to empower you, increasing your damage by 18% for 5 seconds. It's probably like 14% in PvP. And Unbound Chaos also works now with Hunt and Vengeful Retreat, increasing the damage of your next Fell Rush and Fell Blades, right? Or Fell Blades, I should say. So it kind of gives you a choice of either you want to go for single target with Fell Blades or AoE with Fell Rush, which I think is very cool in a sense. We finally kind of have this as kind of I feel like it can be balanced around single target, right? Because now it actually affects Fell Blades. I think it's also very cool because of the way you generally like, especially I think in PvE, you're generally gonna do like the Vengeful Retreat into a Fell Blades combo. You can still do that in PvP, just you're not usually like jumping away from an opponent, you're jumping to an opponent with Vengeful Retreat and then using Fell Blades to get further to them, right? Without using any Fell Rushes, so a little bit differently used in PvP, but still I feel like it's a good thing to have like this balanced around doing single target damage, which means that we can actually have this do significant single target damage. Maybe have like the Fellblade stuff buffed more, depending on how it's gonna all work out, right, in the end. And another huge impactful change that we have to cover is we lose any means necessary and we get Screaming Brutality, which is basically our season 3 or season 4 tier set from Dragonflight. which makes Blade Dance automatically trigger Throw Glaive on your primary target for 100% of the damage, and each slash has a 50% chance to Throw Glaive at an enemy for 35% of the damage. So very much works with this path here, right? Any means necessary always felt to me very weird that this was down here, right, on this specific like nodes, right, that are so related to Throw Glaive, which I mean, sure, in a way you would go for it still because of this talent over here, Soul Scar, but ultimately I think this is gonna be ending up as a positive change. Really, any means necessary only turned our emulation aura, right? Our emulation aura is fire damage. Now it's not going to be able to be turned into chaos damage, but everything else is pretty much been turned into chaos damage over time. So Sigil of Spite and the Hunt are both chaos damage, just baseline. So I feel like there's no reason, right? You were not picking up... the reason why Enemies Necessary was put into the game was basically like outdated, right? Like by Blizzard changing Sigil of Spite and the Hunt into chaos damage. It only now I feel like is like kind of works, I guess... awkwardly is now with Emulation Aura, because Emulation Aura does not get increased by your mastery anymore. So Emulation Aura definitely builds are gonna work more with like haste or crit now. Definitely more looking into haste, obviously, for PvP. Another thing is obviously people really dislike playing Throw Glaive without this tier set, right? People really liked using Blade Dance as the main thing to Throw Glaive for them, and I think specifically for Felskar this is something that's gonna feel good. Right, but I feel like this is gonna feel like a weird talent on Eldrazi River, especially since we're losing the tier set from Season 1 where we had the Blade Dance resets, right? So we'll see, we'll see. I feel like this is definitely interesting in a way that we are now gonna have a lot more different builds. I just have something set up here, kind of baseline Throw Glaive style, I guess, build for Felskard, and yeah, I think we're gonna have a lot more variety now. You definitely are not gonna want to stack Mastery going for like a build that's based around Emulation Aura now, right? You're definitely gonna want to go for Mastery, I think, still if you're going for Throw Glaive, and you're probably not gonna want to go for Mastery if you're going for like a Chaos Strike build, like something that's just really focused on just doing those Chaos Strikes. So unfortunately, we just kind of have to wait to see, to test out some of these things for them to basically fix. Like Cycle of Hatred is now, I feel like, the main thing that's completely like ruining any possibility of testing, because your I-beam, you just cannot ever like know when your I-beam is actually back. Your I-beam is instantly back, so you're not gonna be able to really like test the changes out properly until they fix Cycle of Hatred. Another big change we gotta cover that's gonna be in our PvP talent section is Illidan's Grasp, and as kind of, I guess, expected by most people, it's I feel like it's not gonna get used. The way this is being implemented now, and also just ruined for Vengeance, I feel like this is just a very bad idea. First of all, I really don't like it because they're just ruining the spell for Vengeance, and to make it like viable for Havoc to have it, they're ruining it for Vengeance as well. I just feel like this does not, like, at 1 minute cooldown as well, like this does not cover up a 4-second stun, right? That's on a 30-second cooldown. I feel like it's not gonna like matter that much. The 20-yard range now instead of the 40-yard range, the not drop stun, so you can't really chain this into any other CC. I mean, you can really chain it, I mean, into Sigil Mastery, but you can still do like in-cap, right? It just feels really, really awkward. Yeah, just awkward. I think that's the best way to put it. Like, it's super nerfed for Vengeance, and now for Vengeance it kind of doesn't have a point. And I feel like Vengeance actually had reasons to have this good, right? Because of Vengeance wanted to stack people up for their sigils and like things like that, and having more stuff to like actually move people around. But yeah, I just feel like they nerfed this into the ground. Vengeance is not gonna be like popping up in PvP, I feel like, anymore, because yeah, this is just basically Lightning Lasso now, right? That actually can move people after it, right? Or move people during it, but it's 20 yards range and no drop stun. I feel like this is just not good. Now, just in case you guys haven't seen my video going over tier sets, we're gonna go over it here a little bit. Unfortunately, we are on a winning streak, and if you watch that video, you know that the winning streak, in my opinion, are just the worst. These are probably the worst tier sets we have received in a long time in general. Like, just all of them are RNG based, all of them are just Vikara package to follow, right? It's just a bad tier set. You can pause the video and read it. I'm not gonna read these out. It's just, yeah, definitely if there's gonna be a season in which we are not using our tier set, it looks like it's gonna be season 2 of The War Within. Yeah, these are just god-awful, and I feel like they're gonna be especially god-awful in PvP. It's crit based, and yeah, luck-based, and yeah, it's just terrible. And now for a few notes on the cure talents. There's no changes happening to them, but how I feel like these changes are gonna affect them. Right now, I'm definitely thinking Felskard is kind of in a winning more than Eldrazi River. Definitely the kind of Screaming Brutality, I feel like is gonna benefit Felskard a lot more because of the talent here that actually kind of further works with your Throglaive damage. I don't feel like Eldrazi River has much of anything like that. Like, it really helps the Throglaive damage. It does have a really strong Reverse Glaive, Throglaive, but that's not really like the same as this talent here. The unfortunate part for Eldrazi River, or the thing that I feel like it's gonna make it scuffed in Season 2 of Dragonflight, Devorbitin, is unfortunately the fact that we're gonna be losing the tier set. So our Season 1 tier set refreshes our Blade Dance, and that actually helps remove the clunk from Eldrazi River in a lot of the situations. So what happens a lot of the times is you get your souls just as you use your Blade Dance, and then basically you have to wait with your Art of the Glaive to actually start your combo, right, before you can actually, right, you have to wait for that Blade Dance to come back. So with resetting from our tier set, we could like kind of work against that clunk by just getting a lucky reset. That's not gonna be the case, unfortunately, in Season 2, right? We're not gonna be able to run the tier set anymore, so I just feel like Eldrazi River is, unless they do some kind of reworks, is gonna be in a little bit of a scuffed spot. I personally played Eldrazi River a lot, so for me it's not that big of a deal, simply because I got used to it by playing it like mostly. But I just feel like, yeah, it's due for some reworks and some changes. My personal take: make Reverse Mark like a one thing, right? You just make it like one stack. There's no chances of getting 2 stacks, 3 stacks, or whatever. And then you basically just get more damage from your like Fury of the Eldrazi, and what was it, like, yeah. You just basically get more damage from that second ability, right? Or from the abilities themselves, like. I feel like that's a lot better, a lot easier to balance, and it's gonna be a lot easier to use. It's gonna make it rely a lot less on that Reverse Mark being like on the target like 100% of the time. Obviously, there's other ways, I think, of reworking it and making it better. Definitely, I think Reverse Marks should be tuned out. Just make it something that works with like the Wounded Quarry talents and like some of your other talents maybe, but don't make it so much important in the damage compartment, where it's just a freaking 15% damage modifier. And if you don't have the freaking 15% damage modifier, yeah, you're not doing the damage. So yeah, definitely Felskard looking to me a little bit better going into the Season 2. Because of us losing the tier set, and I feel like it's gonna work a lot better with the Screaming Brutality and the changes that are just coming to this side of the tree. Where Eldrazi River might feel better is maybe with these Inertia and Energy and Unbound Chaos changes, but yeah, I just feel like the tier set right now in Season 1 for the Eldrazi River is very good at kind of removing the clunk from it, and it's kind of the same situation as with Screaming Brutality, where, you know, it's not gonna feel the same playing Throglaive without Screaming Brutality, as it's not gonna feel the same as playing Eldrazi River without the tier set from Season 1, Devorbitin. Now, peeps, what are my overall thoughts? I feel like these are all kind of mostly positive. I just feel like it's not enough to really, like, I think, change our story in PvP. There's still no like unnerves to our like defensiveness when it comes to PvP. There's no buffs to our defensiveness, right, when it comes to like anything, right, not even like PvE as well. So unfortunately, until Blizzard just I guess drops the ego, or however you want to call it, bro, and just freaking buffs the freaking survivability of the Demon Hunter, we are just gonna be, I feel like, in a little bit of a scuffed spot with just how much damage, you know, there is in the game currently. So peeps, now I feel like I have to clear up some misconceptions that I kind of have, I guess, created in the last of my few videos, where I've been talking about like stopping with World of Warcraft. Definitely right now I'm not gonna be able to provide you with gameplay simply because of how long the queues are. And I've just been playing a lot of different games right now, and everything, and when I say everything, I sincerely mean everything, seems to have instant queues. Especially compared to World of Warcraft. Like, everything has like a sub-minute, 3-minute queue, let's say. Maybe like League and Dota, if you're like playing a specific position, maybe that position is quite popular in that point in time, so you're gonna wait maybe like 5 minutes, but those are like the biggest queues that I've waited, are like 5 minutes. Other than that, it's like instant queue in the Dark and Darker, instant queue in Marvel Rivals. Path of Exile obviously does not need any kind of queues, right? I don't know what else, like World of Warships I've been playing a little bit with some friends, and it's like even that has instant queues. Everything has instant queues, like it's just World of Warcraft that is completely scuffed when it comes to the queues. So that really just makes me not being able to really give you the gameplay, and I'm definitely gonna be still covering the game. definitely gonna give season 2 a try, but after that I'm definitely looking at switching the content around. We're definitely gonna be maybe looking to variety or something else to create on the channel, or you might even just create a new channel, because World of Warcraft is just not in a good spot. And I've been watching some videos and I remembered like an old video from Stoops when he quit World of Warcraft, and same problems 5 years ago are same problems today, right? I'm gonna link actually Stoops' video down below, and I think another video as well that I felt like are really good at explaining the problems of World of Warcraft. And just keep in mind, Stoops' video is like 5 years old, so same issues 5 years later, and just the same realizations 5 years later. So definitely, as I'm gonna be covering the game, just more of kind of these informational videos, and until the queues are fixed, I'm just not gonna be waiting some like solo RPGs or like more rated content. Like I can still give you some normal battleground footage, but unfortunately anything above 15-minute queue is just too much for me, man. Yeah, it's just way too much. Like these queues are just way too long, and I don't have that much time really to game anymore. Like I have maybe like 3 to 4 hours, so if I'm waiting half of that in queues, yeah, it's a no for me, man. Like I need to play something that can actually like fill up that time slot that I have allotted for video gaming, like something that's actually gonna be fun all throughout those 3 to 4 hours, right? And by the way, that also encompasses the content creation time, right, that I have to also make the videos. So if I'm waiting queues for 2 hours to get some footage, like half an hour of footage, to then like try and make a video, it just feels really, really bad, really bad. So we're still definitely covering the 11.1 new information, specifically for the classes that we enjoy here on the channel. Demon Hunter, Warrior, Enhance, right? Enhance has some interesting new goodies, and obviously Retribution as well. So we are still doing that. It's just the gameplay is definitely gonna come from other games right now. For right now, I'm planning probably Black Myth Wukong as like the next gameplay thing. Probably you're gonna get. Mostly I'm gonna stream it, right, and I'm gonna also cut it down into some shorter format for the YouTube watchers, for the video watchers. So yeah, peeps, that's about it for today. I really hope you've enjoyed this little video. Happy holidays again. I really hope you have a happy new year. Hope you've enjoyed this little video. Like, comment, subscribe, all those things YouTubers want you to do, and have a nice day.